The most important question I got was, what is your legacy? Not a material legacy, but if life stops now, how do you want to be remembered? What is your frequency legacy? The Phoenix Frequency podcasts are results from that question. When all seemed burnt in your life, the fertile ash of a phoenix is filled with compassion, love, forgiveness, empowerment, intuition, wisdom, generosity, creativity, resilience, a balance of an evolution and involution, what is needed to rise. I am Nienke van Bezooijen and I live my Phoenix frequencies. On a weekly basis, I share my insights, my resources, and I have guests who Phoenix themselves. If it resonates to you, you're welcome to rise.
Welcome to the Phoenix Frequencies. One of the feelings with a big influence on our behavior, actions and patterns is the feeling of shame. When we develop our consciousness of feelings in our learning from the moment we are born, we learn that by comparison. The comparison comes up from the moment we become conscious about ourselves as an individual. When we learn our response or behavior is outside the norm of the ones around us, we can go two different directions, trying to fit in or rebel against it. In my speaker coaching, I came across people with a stutter or who have real difficulties to speak up and let themselves be heard. When we start to learn to speak, our first sounds are often applauded and cheered. But when a child continues to interrupt with sound the adult world and is diminished for that decreases often the self-esteem. If not put in perspective, children never learn the situational awareness, what's appropriate or not. Without a real context, we develop an inappropriate sensor for good, bad, right or wrong, and that's a big portal to develop shame. Shame is a field where we feel there is not a match with what seems the norm around us. And things come up like, I'm a failure, I don't deserve this because, fill in the dots. I can never, I'm always, I feel bad, sad, ashamed about it because. I feel I should do different. We often don't learn our children how to express what didn't go well and cheer them for that. We only celebrate the pattern of wins. But we only learn from our mistakes. Why not celebrating them? Encourage them to be seen as learning points. Isn't it easier to pretend to be too busy than sharing we love to have more customers? Isn't it easier to pretend success than the big mistake that got you into big trouble? Do you share you struggle enjoying your newborn child because you feel stressed, tired due to all the crying and a new situation? Isn't it easier to share you are searching new opportunities than your contract isn't extended? Keep Up Appearances was a great series in the UK with Hyacinth Bucket, who desperately try to fit into the upper class as Hyacinth Bouquet. So where do you keep up your appearances? Or can you authentically, without emotional diarrhea, share your reality and how you feel? I can feel ashamed if my family acts totally out of line of my values, especially in public. Is it their fault? No, it's my feeling. I can feel ashamed about what I procrastinate because I feel I should do more. But is it not enough or is it just a feeling? Aren't we putting a lot of pressure on ourselves around what we think others expect from us? And shame flourishes well inside of us. It can eat us and make us ill because of the stress we produce from shame. Shame has a loud voice, a dominant voice inside of us. We are too skinny or too fat. We don't look good. we don't have a voice that makes a difference. Shame can push out our othering, and we need other people to make us feel better, to temper the feeling of shame. With acknowledgement, compliments, money or attention, all good sources to temper temporary shame. If those needs are not met, the shame power inside of us goes sky high, because shame loves to keep things a secret. Shame loves creating little lies or big lies to keep the truth under the carpet until the bump under the carpet is too big and we stumble over it. And we feel ashamed about that. Shame has one enemy, an enemy that always dissolves shame. And that's speaking with other people about what we are ashamed about. Then out of the sudden, shame is in the spotlight. And even worse, your uniqueness in your shame isn't that unique, because many other people appear to have the same feelings. Shame is no longer unique. Shame flourishes inside of you in isolation, not when it's shared. Another thing shame can't resist is humor, joyful perspective of the situation around what shame created in your inner isolation is killing for the shame. There are 4 simple steps to protect yourself before shame gets hold of your life. First, acknowledge for yourself where you feel discomfort and where it's created. Be aware. Second, if you track, you involve others in comparison in your feelings and it drains your energy and limits your actions. Act with step 3. Step 3. Share with other people what happened and name you feel shame. Do you have your reality check with others about the truth shame is whispering in your inner ear? 4. Take the significance out of the situation around shame and look for a neutral helicopter perspective in the situation. What would you advise to someone else in your shoes? Would you advise feeling ashamed? And if you caused harm to others or yourself, you can be honest and have a conversation how things can be corrected. Take your responsibility rather than grow your shame. Because don't shame the shame, but embrace it as a red flag that rises in your life to make other open above the carpet choices, because you make that choice. You do, not your shame.